We will give a couple more minutes for others to join, then we will start our today's session. Hi everyone, let's start our session. So today is day 3 of our 40 hours DevOps course. So far we have discussed about what is DevOps, what is cloud computing and all. So today we are going to continue on few more topics on cloud computing because we have to be clear enough on the foundations. What is cloud? Why we need cloud? What are the different options of cloud we have? Because some of the students showed interest on the AZ 900 certification. So the course curriculum for AZ 900 is basics of cloud only. So the questions will be related to what are different types of cloud you have, what are the different cloud computing options you have. So those are the deployment models related questions only you will get it. So we are going to discuss the topics related to cloud. Then I'll take you into the Azure because this course, like we cover the cloud concept and also Azure. Like whatever I'm discussing so far in the last 2 days and today's session also, irrespective of the cloud, like it is not related or tightly coupled with Azure because the concept is cloud computing. Whether you are going to apply in AWS or the GCP or any other public cloud concept, it is going to be same. It is not tightly coupled with Azure because this is the base foundation information related to cloud. In general, what is cloud? That only we have discussed. So wherever you want to apply, yes, we can apply. So now we are going to discuss one more topic related to the cloud, the types of cloud we are going to discuss today. So in last session, I was explaining you about like why people are rushing towards cloud, like why we are giving more importance to cloud. So these are the things we have discussed in last session. I hope my screen is visible and my audio is also good. If it is yes, then please give me a thumbs up so that I can confirm that you can share my, sorry, you can view my screen and you can have a good audio quality also. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, I got, yeah, a lot of confirmation. Thank you so much. So now, in last session, we have discussed about cloud computing, why we need cloud computing. Basically, it is a on-demand basis data center. So whenever we are in need, we will use it. Whenever we are not in need, like we will say that we will terminate the service and we will come out of it. So I explained that with an example of my friend's experience, like to start a new business, what are the challenges he has faced, how you came out of it. So those things we have discussed that. So now we are going to discuss talking. Yeah, I'm putting you on mute, Vicky. Like, if you have any question, please unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay, I believe that you accidentally turn it on. Yeah, fine. Coming back to the discussion. So, types of cloud. So, as I told, we have cloud, but every customer will have their own requirement. They will have their own set of requirement. They'll be running different business, so each business need a different input. So we cannot offer the same thing to everybody, right? Simple thing, when you go and do a shopping, Your preference would be different, your friend preference would be different. So each one have their own custom preference. Similarly, what cloud computing concept is doing is, hey, based upon your need, we are here to support you. So they're giving these four options, the different types of cloud computing. Anyhow, you're going to get the support, the infrastructure from the cloud provider. But based upon my need, I'm going to get four types of cloud computing. The very first and widely used in the market is public cloud. So what is this public cloud? So as I told you on the other day, this is like a data center. Data center in the sense it's like a building of a dedicated environment or infrastructure where you will have your hardware components, where you will have the softwares, hardware related for your business. So that is the idea behind this data center. So in the case of public data center, it is a building. Say, for example, I'm running an organization called ABC Solution Service, and my friend is running organization called XYZ Consultancy Service. So we both are in need of a cloud environment. So what we can do is, if we feel that, we can go on a shared basis. That is, I can opt for a data center where it is like it's available in Hyderabad, for example. Me and my friend organization, both of them can use the same data center. We are using a shared infrastructure there. So it's like both the informations are available in the same infrastructure, but it's not like breached or something. We have the separation and other logics in place, but ideally, whatever server I'm using, whatever server my friend is using, both the servers are available in the same infrastructure, in the same building. Simple language, it's the same building. So it's working like that. That we call it as public cloud. That is, it is owned and operated by a third party, the service provider, that is cloud service provider. But it is a shared basis, like it's a public cloud. Whoever in need of that particular particular infrastructure, they can opt for it, they can use it. Whenever they are in need, they will use it. On demand, they will use it. After their business is over and they're good with that, they will go out of it. So that is the concept we have in public cloud. So here it is like pay as you go model only, like whatever you utilize, for that you are going to pay. One thing. But there are some organization, what they feel is, I don't want to go with the shared option. So simple thing is like, if you are traveling in a carpooling concept, like more than one person will be using it. Ideally, you will be traveling the same distance, but the end charge would be different if you are using a carpooling or if you are using a dedicated service for you. Like you are not letting others to join with you when you are traveling. So these two concepts is really equal to your public cloud and your private cloud concept. So say in the public cloud, you are using the shared model, so your cost would be less comparatively with your private cloud. So why the cost is different? Because in private cloud, it is extensively used for a single business or an organization, and it is physically located on the company's on-site data center itself. So here, why people are going to that? Anyhow, it's like cost impacting, right? Compared to the public cloud, here I'm going to pay more. So why people are preferring? Very simple thing, security or the compliance. So some organizations, they have a compliance in place and they have some policies in place. Due to that, they feel that they don't want a shared basis. They want to use a private cloud computing model. They're ready to spend money. They're ready to add more values there. The only thing is they are not ready to relax on their policies or the business compliance. So that is the reason people will go for a private cloud, but that is also a cloud computing model. But in the private cloud, you will be using this infrastructure dedicatedly for your business. Unlike the previous example where I told I'm using the data center and my friend organization is also using the same data center. So in that case, we will be charged less. But in the case of private cloud, that is dedicatedly designed for a single organization by considering that organization's security, their compliance, their policy into account. So in that cases, they will get all the benefits. The only thing is cost impacting things. So the example which I told is like if you are booking one cab service to travel from one place to another service, if you are the one who is traveling alone, then you will be charged more. But if you are going for a shared concept, a pooling concept and all, then obviously you will be charged less, the shuttle cases and all. The same thing on your public and private cloud, charge difference would be there. Now you know the pros and cons of both the things, like in public cloud and in the private cloud, what is the pros and cons you have seen. Now people will feel that I want to take the advantage from both this aspect. That is, I want to take the advantage of public cloud. I want to take the advantage of the private cloud. How can I do? There are some organizations looking for that one. So the cloud providers have come with the option called hybrid cloud. So in the hybrid cloud, what they are doing is they have combined both the things. That is your public cloud and your private cloud together, and they brought in the concept of hybrid cloud. So where you can do this like together with your technology that allows the data and application to be shared between them. So the main thing is the flexibility, your deployment option, and you can optimize your existing infrastructure and compliance. So wherever you feel some of the application must you have to go with the security aspect, like you are not ready to relax on that compliance and policy. For those applications, you can use the private cloud feature. Wherever you feel that this is less priority, it doesn't have that much of business impact and all, I'm okay to keep it in public cloud. Yes, those applications and all, you can keep it in the public cloud. But at the same time, you can have a good integrations also. So you can run your business. So you are taking both the advantage, that is cost and also security and compliance side. So hybrid cloud is the one which is used widely in the market nowadays, because private cloud means like there are some organization they still stick to that policies and all, they are using it. But wherever there is a room, wherever their organizations are allowing them, they are going with hybrid. That is, they are using the combination of public and private cloud. The final thing is your community cloud. So it is specific to a community or a group of organization where they will have same set of requirements, same set of compliance and all. In those cases, what they will do is instead of going for the above three options, they will go with the community cloud. So there the infrastructure, services, everything will be shared with the multiple organization, but they belong to a same community. So the simple example is some army related things and all, some specific set of community people and all will be using this community cloud options. So far I was talking about the general benefits, right? Like I told in a simple line, like whatever disadvantage in on premises, that is the advantage of my cloud, right? So again, this will be your certification question in AZ 900. They will give some of the options and they will tell that pick the benefit of cloud, like choose which are all the benefits of cloud. So you should be knowing what are the different benefits you will get it from cloud. So I listed those things. First thing is your flexibility and scalability. In simple terms, like you are talking about an organization level, but you can ask me UV. For a simple trainee kind of person, what is the benefit I'll get? Yes, flexibility. So in flexibility terms, like whenever you are in a need, you are going to bring up those services, you are going to utilize, you are going to use it for your training, and you are going to shut it down or terminate that. So you will have a flexibility. Or if you are running a small business where you depend upon the scalable concept, that is, whenever you need, you will bring in 100 machines. Whenever you feel that the traffic is less, like you will go back to your two missions or five missions. So those kind of flexibility you can easily achieve in the cloud computing thing. So next thing would be your security. So there were some pros and cons. Like I would say that if you go back a decade back or like yeah 12 years back and all, when the cloud came into market, there were a lot of questions related to security. There were breaches also, we have to agree. That is not related to cloud, first of all. That is related to the usage. The user is not familiar with the cloud concept. They didn't use a security inbuilt in the cloud properly. Because of the end user, there were some breaches. But now, the cloud has evolved in such a way that it has the enhanced security. Even a person is not having that much of intelligence, lot of recommendation cloud provider itself is giving. So I'll be covering those topics in my tips and tricks related to security and all. So there, nowadays cloud provider itself as giving you the option that though you are not from the security background, you are using cloud in your organization, but you are not using in the right way. So that recommendation and all cloud itself is providing, which is enhancing your organization security. Next thing, your compliance. All the organization nowadays, like they have their own compliance, but to build those compliance, it needs some additional technique and skill set and all. So what these cloud providers are doing is they are itself bringing in the frequently used compliance in the market. Hey, you are the one from bank side, then these are the compliance. It will be helpful for you. And if you are from the finance side, if you are from the insurance side, so they have the readily available compliance. So they will give you the built-in compliance. Either you can use the built-in compliance for your security aspect, or you can customize it also. Both the options they are giving. Built-in, you can straight away take it, or if you want some customization, that also we can do. Main important thing here is monitoring, because you know to an extent how you can manage your infrastructure, but every time you cannot sit in front of your laptop and in front of your machine and see what is going on in my hundreds of machines, because you're not going to use one or two machine if you're going to run an organization. In that case, monitoring is a very important thing where you have to understand your full infrastructure and you have to efficiently utilize it. So in that case, cloud providers are helping us. Either you can use a inbuilt monitoring feature, or you can integrate with the famous available tools in the market for monitoring. So you can achieve this. So both the options cloud providers are giving. Next thing is your backup. When you're running a business, I always use this word, that is everything is data nowadays. Whatever we are doing, it's a data. I'm talking to you. This is a data. You are listening to me. This is a data. So all the data should be preserved properly, depend upon the nature of the data. Something would be an audio file, something would be a video file, something will be my application data files. So the proper backup should be there. So the cloud providers, they are giving a lot of options. We will be discussing that in the storage related session. So I'll be telling what are the different ways you can keep your data, your backup things properly, so that you can achieve good redundancy for your data. Finally, optimize costs, but that is the main thing. People are moving to cloud. When you achieve all these things in the on-premises, you end up in paying a lot. But in the cloud, you are reducing lot of investments, the upfront investment, because you don't need to be a subject matter expert in all the areas. Half of the work will be done by the cloud providers itself. Again, I'm going to cover the few more topics today, like the deployment model. Based upon the deployment model you are selecting, I would say sometimes 75% of your work is done by cloud provider itself. Only small customization you will be doing. So truly depend upon what service you are opting and how you are utilizing. This cloud environment will make your work easy. Compare your on-premises maintenance, and you can very well compare, like you can have a discussion with the admins also, whoever is like doing the administration work for the on-premises infrastructure, and whoever is doing the administration work for the cloud infrastructure. Initial few days they will feel that it's some jargon, like some other Greek language people are talking, but when you adopt yourself to the cloud environment, people will see that it is user friendly. Lot of inbuilt things are available, and it is very customizable thing also. So because of that, you don't need lot of people to be around you to fix a small issue. So optimized cost come into picture. So today we are going to discuss this one. This is again your certification topic in your AZ900, the deployment models. So for this again, I'm going to talk about a small story. So just because how much ever I tell you theoretically, these are the topics I have to explain theoretically, but I don't want to take it too dry. That's why I'm giving small examples to relate your real-time experience so that when you read this question in your certification exam, this will come into your mind and you can easily pick those answers. So now coming back to our discussion, a simple thing, example I'm going to tell you. Yes, I'm sharing the whiteboard so to make it understandable. So first thing is I have a business trip. So usually I used to travel. So based upon the travel, I'm going to do some activities. I'm going to share that with you. So I have a invite to travel Bangalore. From Hyderabad to Bangalore, I have to travel. So when I have to travel, like that particular business requirement is just a conference I want to attend. So it is like 1 day conference I want to attend in Bangalore. So I have to travel alone, just a 1 day, right? My family is in Hyderabad, so I have to travel to Bangalore. So if I have to do it, it's like what I have done is for my accommodation, I have selected a hotel stay because it is a 1 day activity. So I booked one hotel, a good hotel for me to stay, and in that hotel I stayed for a day. So what I did is I did a check-in and I get a good food, everything I got there, like in terms of my room service and other things and all, I got it. So I stayed there. I completed my conference and I came back to Hyderabad. So only 1 day I spent. But when I spent there, like I was charged for food, my other services like room services, laundry services, whatever I was opting for all the services I was charged. I didn't do anything. Like I went in with my luggage, I stayed there and I came out. Everything was there in the room itself for me to stay for a day. After a few days, I got another invite to visit Bangalore, but this time it is like 1 month of stay. So it's like 1 to 2 months of stay. So it is for my training purpose. I was told to travel Bangalore to undergo a training for 2 months kind of thing. So in that time, like what I did is like I don't want to take a hotel for 2 months of time. So I went with the option of service apartment. So now what I did is like I went with the option of service apartment because I have to stay for more than 1 month. So again, this time also I went alone. So, but I thought like service apartment would be a good option for me. But in the service apartment, like what I have to do is I don't have a inbuilt restaurant there. So I have to prepare my food by myself. I have to do my laundry things by myself, but I have the inbuilt kitchen, all other appliance, everything was there in place. But I have to do some additional works like buying groceries or doing some additional things, shoppings and all I have to do by myself. So here the inbuilt features were there in terms of electrical appliance I had. So I have all the electrical appliance whichever I need, and my other services, everything was there. But I have to do by myself. The things were readily available, but I have to do by myself. Then that 1 or 2 months training is over. So here I was charged for a like 1 month or 2 months I stayed in the service apartment, right? I was charged for that alone. The remaining things and all, it's like customization I did, right? Like I prepared my food and other things and all I was doing by myself, right? For that, like I put some effort there with the available resources. Then finally, after a few days, like I got another offer that is I was told to work from Bangalore for 2 years of time. They said or like 1 year of time. They said you have to move to Bangalore and you have to work from there. You got a good position, so you have to move there. Like 2 years of time, they told. So I would say like 2 to 3 years of time. So in that time, what I decided is for 2 to 3 years of time, I don't want to leave my family. So I thought like I can take my family. So I can go there. So when I want to go there, obviously what I have to do, I have to rent one apartment because I cannot go for the service apartment for a longer time. So this time I rent a apartment. So here again for 1 year of time, this is one apartment I rented. So when I go there, what has happened is I have to do a lot of work. They gave me only the empty room to meet. So I have to set up everything. I have to set up my internet. I have to set up my other electrical appliance installations. Everything I did by myself, but they gave me the empty rooms only. So that is the issue with the rented apartment. So now I gave you three options. In rented apartment, lot of effort is needed from me, but over a period of time, like if I see for 1 year, I didn't spend much, but I put lot of effort to set the things up for me to use it. It's not like readily I can start my day, like lot of effort, like I have to chase different people to install my electrical appliance to make things ready for me to live a regular life. In the service apartment, there are something available, but on top of it, I was doing some customization for my own need. But here, the amount which I spend compared to my rented apartment is more. In rented apartment, I would say this is the cheapest one compared to the all three options. So now you know the three options. One is hotel stay, another one is your service apartment, third one is your rented options. In all these three options, the amount which I'm going to utilize, amount which I'm going to pay, it's like inversely proportional to the effort I'm doing. Like if I put lot of effort from my end, then I end up in paying less. That is the rented option. If I spend less effort, I don't need to do anything, the hotel example, but I end up in paying a more, like lot of things I have to pay for each and every service I have to pay. Exactly these three models only we have it in the cloud. Okay. So this one, okay. So far we talked in a normal language or day-to-day language example, right? But in cloud computing, this as a technical name. Okay. So the rented apartment where the building is owned by somebody, but I'm using this for 1 or 2 years of time. So for that period of time, I have to pay a rent to the owner. But inside that rooms, okay, inside the apartment, whatever I need, I can do it. If I want to fit in a AC, if I want to fit in a TV, everything I can do by myself. I have to call a third party or I have to call some other subject matter expert and I'll be doing. But over a period of time, the amount which I spend on the rented apartment would be less compared to the other two options. So this we call it as infrastructure as a service. So in the infrastructure as a service, cloud providers, what they will do, they will just give a plain infrastructure to me. On top of this infrastructure, I have to add the required things for my application to run. I have to install the required softwares. I have to do the different patchings. I have to take care of the vulnerabilities. Everything falls under my responsibility. If I am the end user, cloud provider will give me only the environment to me. So whatever I need on top of this environment, I have to maintain by myself. I have to bring in the subject matter expert. I have to spend a lot of time here, but I can spend less when compared to the other option. So infrastructure as a service means it's like a your rented apartment. So you have to put a lot of effort to make your application work. Second thing is we have a component called platform as a service. So this is again what they will do is Your cloud provider will give you a environment, that is one infrastructure they are going to give, but it's not going to be a empty or a simple infrastructure. They already had some customization. They will have some OS installed into it. They will have some software installed into it. They will give it to you. On top of it, for your application to work, because you may have different application, the other organization may have different set of application. So truly, like, you need some customization in the existing PaaS service. So you have to do some minimal customization in the existing infrastructure to make your application to work, to make your business to run. So that we call it as platform as a service. So they will give a platform itself. If you say that I'm planning to deploy one web application which is of Java, and these are my requirement. If you give it, then you will get a platform as a service model infrastructure. So you don't need to really look into the different underlying softwares and all. So those and all will be readily available. You have to concentrate on your application oriented things. So that we call it as platform as a service. So in real time, the example which you can match is my service apartment experience. So cost wise, it will be different from your infrastructure as a service. Next thing is the hotel stay we have, right? Where I have everything. I don't need to do anything. Okay. Only I have to take my luggage and I have to check in. That's it. So same thing here. I have a concept called software as a service. So here, cloud provider itself will do everything for me. I don't need to really look into any customization and all. So all things will be readily available. I don't need to maintain any checklist, nothing. Only thing is I have to add some basic configuration. That is, nowadays everybody is using emails, right? So those days, your organization, if they want to set up one email account for a new journey, they have to do a lot of process. They have to undergo a lot of things like setting up that environment, creating an account, and they have to come up with a storage option to save your emails and all, backups, archives. So many things our organizations are doing. But nowadays it's very simple. You have your Office 365. So when somebody logs in, like, one account alone will be created in your Office 365, and that email address will be shared to the employee. So it's very simple, right? So only the configuration your organization is doing. Behind the screen, the entire infrastructure is owned by Microsoft. They are dealing all those things. So what, as an employee, what you are doing, you just open that Office 665 URL, that is office.com, or sometime you will have it in your machine itself, like you will have the desktop version and you will click and you will work on it. So very straightforward, like you will have your email address and password with you, and you will log in and you will start your work. For an organization also, it's pretty straightforward. They have to create an account and they have to share it with you. Whatever it is needed in the background, Azure is going to do it for you. But you'll be charged. Similar thing, the hotel example I was telling. So these are the three different types of deployment models we have it in cloud computing, irrespective of the cloud providers, whether you are using AWS or GCP, all cloud providers have these samples. So we have something called infrastructure as a service, where you will be provided with a plain infrastructure. You have to build in everything, and installation wise, maintenance wise, everything you will be doing by your own. Lot of effort is needed from your end, but you will be charged less. Second thing is platform as a service. Based upon the platform which I'm going to build my application, that related information would be available, but on top of it, some customization I have to do to make my application work. So that is the platform as a service. Software as a service, it's a readily available software to you. Like, you don't need to really install the software into your machine. Like Office 365 example I was telling, you have to open the browser, you have to type the URL, you'll be start using it. Lot of software as a service we have it in cloud providers. Many ticketing services are available for us. Monitoring things are all available as a software as a service nowadays. So these are the three options we have. Now I'll take you back to the um, So now I'll take you back into the theoretical discussion because for your certification purpose, you should know the relevant words. So I'll be showing you what are the different options we have it and what are the different questions you will get it. So now, so this was the one I was talking about, the three options, that is infrastructure as a service, that is your rented IT infrastructure. So you can rent your servers, virtual machine storage, networks and all from a cloud provider. And platform as a service, here as a user, you will be provided with a component itself for you to quickly start your development. You don't need to really worry on setting up the environment or managing the infrastructure. Finally, you have software as a service. This is the delivering your software application. So provider itself, that is your cloud provider itself, will host and manage the application and it will make your work easy. That is, you don't need to really worry about any other thing, like only the configuration you will be doing. So now this comparison chart will help you to understand the four different models we have. Like there are three models, but I added the on-premises also for the comparison aspect. So the responsibility wise, there are two people would be there in this model, that is the cloud provider. The cloud provider can be the Azure or the other cloud providers. And the other end is users, that is you and me, the end users. Whoever is using Azure, they are the end user. So there are some responsibility we have to take as the end user. There are some responsibility the cloud itself will take. So let's see those things. So there are some different color coding we are using. So Microsoft is used, like if the responsibility is fully by Microsoft, that is Azure is going to take care of the responsibility, then this is the color coding, the lighter shade. And as a customer, you do have some responsibility based upon the deployment model you are taking. So darker shade is there. If there is any shared responsibility there between the customer and the provider, then you can see this shade model. That is lighter shade and the darker shade. Both the things you can do. So now, when you want to build up one application, these are the steps you have to do for sure. So the other day I explained it, the on-premises model, but still we have to discuss the technical aspect also. So why I have put it this is, in certification, they will ask you a question that is, everything will be provided. Only you have to work on the information and data means what model you will select. Then you will have this chart with you. You don't need to by heart anything. I'm going to explain in such a way that you can easily understand and you can go for it. So first, let's understand what are the options we have. That is, I need a physical building, one data center I need. There I need to have a physical network. That is, you need your network related aspects, your routers and whatever it is needed for a networking. That physical thing you need, and you need the physical host also. So you need to, these are all related to your hardwares. So you need a building, you need your hardware components for network, you need the hardware component for host, your servers, all those things. Once you have all those things, then you will install your operating system. Then these are all related to your software component. That is, you will have your network controls. You have your own application. Every organization will have their own applications, right? That you will have. For your application to run, you have to do some access, that is authentication and authorization. So you have to create the users. You will have a set of managers, you will have set of developers, you have set of testers. So for them you have to create the user management related things. So accounts you have to create. Then finally you have to decide, my application should work in mobile or it should work on a web concept, the desktop is needed. So that you will decide. Finally, what type of data your application should use. So if I'm doing one online shopping app, then I need the shopping related thing, the products I need, shipping address I need. So those are the data I need. So now these many steps I need to do for a application to work, a regular pattern. So if these are the steps I have to do in the on-premises model, from the bottom to top, the customer has to do. That is, if I am running one organization and I'm using the on-premises model, I didn't opt for the cloud option means I have to do everything here. So I have to take care of like renting one building, buying different hardwares, setting up those hardwares. So this we have discussed on other day. So everything I have to do, not only on the hardware, software side also I have to take care. Application side, the user management, everything I have to take care. So in the on-premises, the full responsibility lies on the customer end only. So that is the on-premises model one. In the infrastructure as a service, the cloud provider, what I told, they will give you a simple infrastructure. The empty room alone, you will get it. On top of the empty room, you have to decide what and all you have to keep it in your home. Similarly, here in the infrastructure, only the physical components they will give you. Your data center, that is your building would be there, network, hardware related network things would be there, and those only you will have. On top of it, whatever software components, whatever application components you want, that will be done by the who? Customer. That is end user. As an end user, I will rent the hardware component, that is the plain infrastructure alone. The remaining setups and all, I'll be taking care. If I'm running one organization and I'm going to cloud and I opted for the infrastructure as a service model, then I will just get the plain infrastructure. On top of the infrastructure, I will do all the setup by myself. Myself in the sense, my team is going to do. I'll pull in the network people. I'll pull in the security people. I'll pull in the application related people and I'll work on it to make my business to run. The next option, platform as a service. So here, the hardware components will be provided. Operating system will also be provided. The basic setups for my software, that is the network components, my identity or directory for this infrastructure, those basic setups would be there. They will have the required softwares also. I have to do some customization on the software because the setup will have a path, like they will install a software in a specific path, but my application might look for some other option. So I have to go and change the environment variable, small customizations I have to do. Finally, everything on the application, like who has to use my application, where my application should run. Obviously, the cloud provider may not know. Azure may not know what application I'm going to deploy because my organization has developed an application. It's a website I've developed. Azure has no clue about it. So what I have to do? They will give me the infrastructure. They will give me the basic things for my platform to run. If it is a web application I'm running, for that they will give the platform. But the hardcore information about my application is inside my organization. Nobody knows it. So ideally, I have to go and do the setup. So those setup alone, it's fully rely on the customer, the application setup, like where I have to access my application, who has to access my application, those and all will be on customer. But the remaining that the software related components are all shared between me and the cloud provider. The bottom lines, that is my hardware components, operating system, everything will be owned by Microsoft. So owned by Microsoft means what they will do. If in case the operating system provided by Microsoft is facing some challenge, some vulnerabilities there, then Microsoft itself will do the patching. I don't need to work on it. If in case the software provided by Microsoft as part of this platform as a service is going to reach the end of life. That is, every software will have a lifetime. Okay, so they will have a patch version to bring it to a new version, or they will have a new release itself, a big release they will do. So, different thing. Simple thing is, you are using, everybody is using Windows laptop, for example. Then you are using 2008 operating system. If it is that nowhere available means you have to go to the 2009, 2012, 2022. So many OS versions are available, right? So you will have different version. Every version has an end of life. So if it is not able to support the latest requirement, then obviously we have to go with the model of end of life, right? So if you are going for that model, then what you have to do, like In the platform as a service, Microsoft itself will do the activity for you. You don't need to really work on the OS related aspect. But in the case of infrastructure as a service, as you are owning the OS, you have to work on it. That is, the customer has to take care of any patching, any updating, anything, you will be doing it. Finally, software as a service, you can see lot of light shades, which means that everything will be done by cloud provider itself. You have to work only on the user management because they will create everything. And that Office 365 example I told, right? They will give that environment to you. They will give the setup to you, all the options to you. But as an organization, you have to decide who has to access your email account. If a new employee joins in, you only know the employee detail. So you will be adding the employee account and you will be doing the configuration details. And again, you have to decide whether your employees should use the email version in the mobile or they have to use only the web versions. It's truly depend upon your organization policy. So those things alone will be handed over to you. The remaining things and all will be handled by Microsoft itself. So this is the shared responsibility. Surely you will get a question from this in your AZ 900. So they will ask about your shared responsibility. They will give some options like Office 365 is an example of Dash, and they will get an option of software as a service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as a service. Then you can go and pick the options. So it will be simple only. The only thing is you should know the concept, then you can go. It will be a multiple choice questions and you can do it. So the next topic would be on my geography and regions. I doubt whether we have time for it, but still I'll show you what we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions to get an idea. I hope my screen is visible to you. So this is what we are going to discuss in the next topic, that is the geography, the Azure geography, Azure regions. So again, this logic, what I'm telling, you can apply in other cloud providers also. Every cloud provider have their own data center built in. They have their services scattered, like distributed in different locations around the globe. So why Azure has become famous is truly because of this option only. So you have lot of features, like lot of options available. Mm, I'll change it to map. You can have a table option also. So now if you look at this, you have lot of data center across the globe. In US itself, you have lot of options. In India, you have different locations. In Europe, you have lot of locations. Why this has become famous is because of the option, the different locations they have, right? So it made our work easy. So wherever you resist, you can see across the globe, you have lot of geographies, like every country you can say in India you have. Okay, this is called geography. So you should know the difference between the geography and region. So India, you have one data geography location. India itself a geography location, but I want to know the regions also. So regions, if you look at this, there are two dots available. That is, in India, I have the Azure facility, but I have two options, one in South India, another one in Central India. So whoever is near to the Central India, they will use this region. Whoever is near to this South India, they will use this region. So now you know the different. Wherever you see the white dots, those we should call it as geography. Wherever you see the cyan shade, this we call it as the region. So India is a geography, but you have two regions here. So based upon the third region also they are building up. So it like you can now it is two region you can see. So based upon the location you can select. So why this region is important for your performance? If you are running your business from a region, that is you are running from Hyderabad, Then you can very well choose a South India region so that it is near to your location where you are deploying your application. So you will have a good performance. There won't be any delay. If you are planning to run your application in Delhi, then you can very well go for the Central India option. So it's truly depend upon where you are going to deploy the application. So why I'm insisting is this problem you will face it in real time. I'll share the real time issue also. Say your organization has application like you are the like you are working for a multinational organizations like where you have employees scattered across different location, but your application is predominantly used by US users. So all the users are from US geography. Then what you have to do is you have to create the application from that location only. That is, you have to choose the geography of US East or US West region and you have to build your application. Then only it will work. It's not depend that you are doing development, you are in India, so you are going to manage the deployment, you will select something near to India. No, it's not going to work out. So when you are choosing your region, you have to choose a region which is near to the end user so that you will have a good performance. So still, like I've explained only the geographies and regions, right? So geography is the like in our case, it's India is a geography, and I have two regions. We have few more subcategories into it, so that we will discuss in next session. So, because this would be the important topic for you to have a good availability. So, this again would be your question in your certification and also in